365 days ago, I started selling digital products on social media with 0 followers and 0 experience. Yet, I was still able to make over $10,000 as a complete beginner. But that's only a very small part of the story. The truth is, I had a lot of bad months where no one bought my digital product. I created content, I built an email list, and I followed all the advice that the big gurus were giving out. But I still felt lost and overwhelmed, which is probably where you are right now and exactly why you clicked on this video. So in today's video, I'll be breaking down exactly what I learned in the last 12 months of selling digital products so that you can start earning faster than I did. And if we haven't met already, my name's Stan, and for the past year, I've been creating content, selling digital products, and building a personal brand from complete scratch. My goal is simple. It's just to share my lessons, my mistakes, and my breakthroughs so that you can start earning much faster than I did. So with that being said, let's get right into the video and go back to where it all started. I've been making money online for the better part of the last 10 years. I've been selling sneakers on Facebook Marketplace. I built an eBay store where I resell items like sneakers, clothes. I sold on StockX, Gold. That's where it all started. As I started to get into the online space a bit more, I wanted to try new business ventures. So I tried crypto, I tried building apps, and a dozen other business models that ended up failing. But throughout all that, one thing that stayed the same is my want to help people make money online. That has always been my passion. Ever since I was 14 years old, I always loved learning a new skill and being able to teach other people. Like when I built my first eBay store and I was reselling sneakers, I also showed my friends how to do it and they started making money as well. And that is one of the best feelings that I can't even put into words. Solving a problem for yourself and then seeing someone else being able to solve that same exact problem and be successful, that's something special. There's something special about that you just can't replicate. And that's where my passion started. For some reason, I was always attracted to creators who created content and showed people how to make money online. Like I thought it was so cool that you were able to build a system for yourself and then teach other people how to do it and build an audience who know about you and the problem that you solve or the unique thing that you can do. And that was always in the back of my head. Like even as I was getting older and I was still, seeing success with my own business, I was never a content creator. I never created videos online like this on YouTube or even videos on Instagram. I just sold sneakers and tried other business models, and that was pretty much it. I never thought about creating content, but I always wanted to. So last year of 2024, I decided that I want to create an app that show people how to start side hustles and literally start making money from home. And it will put you in a community where other people are learning that same exact side hustle or business model. And basically what it would do, you'd have all the resources, all the tools, all the knowledge, and you'd have a high level entrepreneur that helps you to do it. I got the idea from Andrew Tate, but I wanted to change it a little and make it a bit more professional and cleaner looking. And once I started that project, I realized I need developers, I need a lot of money, and I need a lot of resources, along with building traffic for the app. Like I needed to build hype around it, but I had no audience and everything started to pile up quickly. I spent money on designing it. I spent money on market research, trying to understand what other competitors that I had out there and how they were set up. And I had hired a designer for the user experience and the flow of the app. And I was like, dang, this is getting kind of costly. And I haven't even started actually building it out, yet alone marketing it and promoting it. And that's when one night I prayed to God and asked him for direction. I didn't know how it was going to happen. I didn't know what the next move was. And I wasn't even halfway through and it was already exhausting a lot of resources. I had no idea what I was going to do. And that is when I discovered digital products. So one of my friends, Monetize with Bry, introduced me to communities, and that's around the time when school started becoming a thing and more creators were shifting to creating online communities, launching a subscription model and getting paid through that. And we wanted to be growth operators, but I quickly realized that as a growth operator, you aren't building anything long term, especially if you don't align with the creator and your creator isn't aligned with you. It was a business model that I didn't like. And if you don't know what a growth operator is, basically you take a creator who already has an audience, and then you take your skills of being able to build a community, launch it, promote it, and you pair up with a creator, you split it half and half or whatever deal that you want to do. You create their community for them, you help them launch it, promote it, and then you get paid on the back end. One thing that I didn't like about it is that let's say you partner with a creator and they don't pay attention to the details like you do, or they don't work as hard as you. You're putting your entire income into their hands. So if they wake up one day and don't want to work with you anymore or don't want to promote the community, then you will stop making money. And that's when I decided I wanted to create my own community that I would teach people how to make money online. That's where my entire journey of digital products kicked off. My first digital product was a content calendar. And then my next one was a course for creators that taught them how to create content and come up with ideas My third product was a community on how to make money online. And then my fourth one was the community, but in the form of a coaching program and more one-to-one instead of one-to-many. And all of them failed. Literally every single last one failed. But I learned a lot from them. I made a lot of mistakes promoting them, launching them, creating them, writing out the curriculum, writing out the courses, working with a few people, getting traffic to them. And through those mistakes is what allowed me to refine my skills and learn that, like, okay, this actually takes work. You need a brand, you need traffic, you need people to, you need to solve a clear problem for people, and you need to package that information well so that they're able to take it, use it, apply it, and then get a result or a transformation from it. And that's when I started to run into the real problems that a lot of gurus don't talk about. They don't talk about learning how to communicate effectively in order to build a brand, create content, and actually get people to care about your product. They don't talk about creating an offer that people actually want. They don't talk about how to break down what you put inside of the course and how to structure it and how to actually deliver the product. They don't talk about building trust and why a lot of people are scamming nowadays, which makes it harder for smaller creators to be able to sell a product. They don't talk about shiny object syndrome, where something's not working for you and you see someone else promoting something and is doing well, and then you switch to that, and all of a sudden you reset your entire clock. You start back from zero again and again and again, which is why most creators stay stuck and why I was spinning the wheels on my own journey, my own progress for a very long time. So I've taken everything that I've learned and I've condensed it into 5 mini lessons that I want you to take from this video. Number 1 is traffic. You need traffic to sell a digital product. That is the trade-off of wanting to sell digital products. That's the difference between a coaching program or a service-based business where you are charging higher for a service and you don't need that much traffic to make a profit versus charging lower for a digital product and wanting to have that time freedom and location freedom where anyone anywhere can download your product, buy your product, download it, use it, and you don't have to physically be there. What most people get wrong with traffic is that they put it at the bottom of their to-do list, when in reality, nobody knows you yet as a beginner. The thing that you're fighting tooth and nail for is visibility. All these other big creators, they know how to create content already. They know how to talk on camera. They know how to build a brand and connect with their audience, but you don't. And you need people to know who you are, connect with you in order to buy your product, in order to champion your ideas of the specific niche or industry that you're in. You need people to believe in what you say and what you have to offer in order to take the next step for your product. Lesson 2 is trust. It's piggybacking what I just said off building a connection with your audience. You need people to know your journey, what you've been through, your entire story. If you don't share that with them, they won't know. They won't know what went into creating your product. They don't know the trials and tribulations that you had to go through before you were able to get to this transformation or before you were able to actually win. Think about it. If I just told you that I was getting all these wins and I was stacking all these wins, I was making all this money online, it probably come off like I'm bragging or I'm very prideful. But if I told you all my struggles beforehand, you'd champion that win. You'd want to see me make progress because you know what came before it. And that is the same thing that you need to do as a beginner. You need to let people in on the mistakes that you've made, the trials and tribulations that you went through, and the journey / story that you had to endure in order to get to where you are right now. Lesson 3 is to focus on one thing at a time. You only need one target audience. You need one offer. You need one product. You need one social media platform. And you need to do that for 1 year. You don't need to solve every problem. You don't need to be on every single platform. You don't need to make a bunch of products. You just need to find the one that fits you and your audience the most. Most beginners stay stuck, and I stayed stuck for a very long time because I had shiny object syndrome. I was chasing one thing after another. When this didn't work for a month or two, I'd switch to the next thing. I switched to a coaching program, then a community, then a digital product template, and then a content calendar. And every time you switch between these things, you don't learn the lessons that it is on why they work and what it works for. Everything has a specific reason, scenario, and circumstance in which it works best for. And if you don't stick around and actually learn why that is, you'll never understand how to use it effectively. Lesson number 4, communicate clearly. This is something that I struggled with a lot in the beginning of my journey. I didn't know how to structure my content. I didn't know how to talk in videos. I didn't know the difference between the hook, the body, and the ending or the call to action. I didn't know how to speak to a camera, and I'm still learning how to speak to a camera. It's not that I'm perfect now, but I'm understanding where to improve and where to fix and where to put my attention. And that is what you don't understand as a beginner. Every piece of content that you put out has to be clear. It has to be a clear takeaway that your audience gets out of it, or else no one is going to want to watch it or listen to it. You have to provoke some sort of emotion within your hook. If you're unable to spark an emotion within your hook, then no one is going to watch the rest of your content. And honestly, you might have something really great to say at the end, but if no one watches or clicks on the first half of it, then they will never get to the middle or the end where all the meat and potatoes are. And that is what you need to master as a beginner. You need to create content and talk to the camera every single day and make it a habit. It has to become second nature. You have to condense your ideas so that it's very easy for your viewers to consume. If you're just saying a lot of jargon and trying to sound smart, then it's hard to listen to and people will never actually watch your videos or connect with your content. And a very easy way to do this is to simply speak to one person. Everything changed for me when I stopped trying to talk to everyone and I focused on one person. Even now, as I'm looking at the camera, I'm speaking to one very specific person who is wanting to make money with digital products, wanting to make money on social media and build a brand, but they don't know where to get started and they feel lost, overwhelmed, and confused from all the information out there on the YouTube videos, the TikTok videos, the Instagram videos of everyone telling them a bunch of different things. And the first step just feels so impossible. And that is exactly who I'm talking to in this video because I was once in their shoes. That's the person that I can best speak to because I know what it feels like. I've literally lived it. When you speak to the camera, when you create content, when you create a product, speak to that person that you once were 6 months ago or a year ago or 2 years ago. Remember what they're going through, what they're feeling, and what they need to hear in that very specific moment. Number 5 is patience. In anything that you do in life, it requires patience. If you're impatient, you'll try to take shortcuts. And for me, I tried to pay for a lot of shortcuts. I paid for shoutouts, I paid for ads, and I spent a lot of money just trying to go faster. And in reality, it just slowed down my progress because at the end of the day, I wanted to create content. I want to build a brand. And to do that, you have to speak to camera. And for the better part of my journey, I didn't have a YouTube channel or Instagram page. It was a team of 4 of us hiding behind one account for almost a year. So think about it. Because I was scared, because I was impatient, because I wanted to go faster, I thought I would go faster. We allowed one person to create content when it could have been 4 of us. And that was our biggest mistake because number 1, we were scared to do it. And number 2, we thought that running ads to one account or running ads through one account would be the best way to do it. It would get us a bunch of leads into our community and they'd buy our products and we do so well and everything would go like this. No, that's not how it happened. And eventually I had to overcome my fears and I had to set up my YouTube channel. I had to set up my Instagram page. I had to get in front of the camera and start making videos. And if I would have just been patient enough to know that it is a grind, it takes time to build, and that anything worth building takes time. There are certain skills and tools that you need to acquire in order to master the level that you're at. And that is what I didn't comprehend at the time. That is why a lot of my months I spent not creating content and just worrying about the product, when in reality, I should have been creating content. I should have been making videos. I should have been helping people more and letting them know what I have to offer, letting them know the product that I was creating, about my launches and what I was working on. That would have saved me lots of hours later on when I started creating content months later. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to talk to the camera. I don't know how to grow a social media profile. I had to learn that way later when I could have just started my journey like that. The major takeaway here is to be patient. Do what you need to do now instead of trying to find a little shortcut that you think is going to take longer. Because in reality, the shortcut isn't real. It never was real. And the fastest way to get there is to just do the work that you need to get done. But there are some downsides to digital products that I do want to let you know before we end this video. Someone can pay $1,000 for a digital product and still never completely finish it. And if that's the case, they bought your product, didn't use it, and they can literally blame you for not getting results. And you just have to accept the fact that not everyone is going to complete it. Problem number 2 is that you are going to need a lot of traffic. The trade-off is that you have to build your audience. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. You have to. In order to stay profitable long term, you're going to need to build it. That doesn't mean as a beginner you can't start earning now or that you can't start earning with a small following. But as you continue to build and grow, you're going to want to get bigger. You're going to want to bring more people to your landing page and your storefront so that they can know what you have to offer and that they can buy your product and you can remain profitable. If you're not getting that much store views and still making sales long term, it's a gamble. You need the traffic. If you want to have those big 20, 30, 40K months, you're going to need a lot of traffic in order to do that. I don't really see this as a problem because there is one very good thing that you get out of this, which is the skills. You learn how to promote. You learn how to launch. You learn how people react to certain videos and click on your landing page. You learn who buys from what videos. Those are skills that you're going to need for any business that you launch, any business that you work on in the future. And as a beginner, it allows you to front load those skills as much as possible. Even when you switch to a coaching program or maybe even a startup, you learn the basic skills of people. You learn the basic skills of marketing and promoting and selling a cheap digital product. Although it might not be as profitable right then and there, as you continue to grow and move up in your journey and sell better products and create higher ticket products, that will allow you to know how marketing works and how promoting works and learning how to create content, build a brand. Those are very effective skills and tools that you need in your arsenal. Which leads us to problem number 3. Your feedback loops are slower. So unlike service-based businesses or coaching programs where you get to chat with people face to face or, virtually, you're not able to really speak to your customers unless you have an active audience or you are very intentional with communicating with them or getting feedback from them. And it takes time. Just like we said in problem number 1, people may or may not go through it. And if they don't go through it, that means you don't know what to update, you don't know what to fix, you don't know what to change until you get that feedback. It might take them a month, it might take them a week, it might take them a day, or it might take them a year to actually finish your course, apply it, and then give you feedback. So that is one thing that you just have to bite the bullet on, but you should be intentional with reaching out to your customers and asking them, like, have you gone through it? What have you learned? Have you been able to apply it? What needs to be changed? What needs to be fixed so that you can improve it, make it better, and continue to craft and build on top of the product that you put out. And if I had to leave you with one thing for this entire video, it is to stop splitting your focus. All you need is to solve one problem, one funnel, one product, one social media platform for 1 year. That is all you need. You don't need to split your focus between a coaching program and digital products and a plethora of different things. You just need one. And you need to get good at that one before you move on to the next. Use your time wisely. You already have enough things to deal with in your day-to-day life. And if you try to add more things onto your workload, it makes it harder to get to. Which leads us to my last and final point, which is focusing on your revenue generating activities. You see, a lot of you guys are focused on your logo, your website, your aesthetic, your LLC, and all these different things that don't really make you money. The beginning of your day should be solely towards revenue generating activities. And as a beginner, it's 2 things. 1, creating content so that people discover you. And 2, building and promoting your product so that people know and are able to buy what you have for sale. Those are the lever moving tasks that you need to do with your time. So even if you have an hour a day, if you have 2 hours a day, or even if you have more, you need to focus on those 2 things. Create content consistently so that people can discover you, and build and promote your product so that they have something to buy. I have seen so many beginners spend so much time on their website, their logo, the aesthetic of their page and how it feels, when in reality, they're not even putting out content consistently and they're not even promoting or building a good product that actually solves a problem. Those are the 2 things that you need as a beginner. You don't need nothing else. So focus on creating content, finding a system that works for you, whether it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or whether it's recording in the morning and posting at night, whether it's recording at night and posting immediately after you record. Find whatever works for you and start posting consistently. Talk about your journey, talk about your story, create content. Pick one platform and create content, create content, create content. Like, if I had to beat this across your head, is create as much content as possible and continue to improve with each post that you make. Get better and better and better. And with your product, it's the same exact thing. Continue to build off of feedback. Ask your customers what they need help with, what they want you to change, what have they struggled with, what systems, templates, checklists, resources, trainings do they want inside of your product, and continue to build off of that. Promote it, promote it, promote it like your life depends on it. Because at the end of the day, no one is going to promote your product as hard as you. You are the only person promoting it. You need to be the first one to promote it before others start. Amazon, Temu, Fashion Nova, Shein, they put millions of ads, text, emails in front of us every single year, but no one says anything about it, right? Everyone's just like, oh yeah, they're just promoting their product. They're just solving a problem. It's the same thing for your product. Your product has to actually be good. And once it's good, promote it like your life depends on it. Remember, to get, you must first give. And I'll see you guys in the next video.